welcome to my kitchen. It is me, Luciel Balls. We are here. It is May 5th when I'm posting the video, and I am going to be making some pozole. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like the middle of summer, and it's hot. We want some tacos, but let me tell you something. Pozole has always been something that's been made in our home, even if it's hot out. And I think any of my Hispanic friends can probably attest to this. It's hot out, you're going to be eating caldo de pollo, you're going to be eating caldo de res, you're going to be eating pozole. So today, we're just making a super authentic pozole. Again, this is how I was taught, so it's authentic to me. Perhaps you make it a little bit different, and that's fine. We're just going to go over how I was taught to make it, and I think it's super authentic, and again, very delicious. So, on with the pozole. Caldo de pollo, you're gonna eat it. So as you guys know from growing up, if you knew any Hispanic families or if you are Hispanic, you make a bunch of food and it's just gonna last you forever. You're gonna share it with your friends, neighbors, family. Today we're only making a small pot. I mean, this is a pretty big pot, but it's a small amount compared to what you could be making. So yeah, we're just gonna try to make it super simple. I am going to go through a few of the ingredients, but if you would like to see a full list of the ingredients and everything that I use and where I kind of get it, source it, check out my Patreon, and I will walk through all the ingredients on Patreon. Right off the bat, we're just gonna start by putting in our pot about 4 pounds of pork shoulder. Now we're gonna cut it into 1 inch to 2 inch cubes, and then make sure you leave that bone in there because that's what's gonna make our broth really good. So we're just gonna add that into our pot. I also add about a pound or two of riblets. These also have a bone in there that have quite a bit of marrow, so that's gonna make, again, your broth be very savory, very tasty. So go ahead and add that into the pot as well. So I'm also gonna add 2 bay leaves into the pot. And then this part is crazy, but you're gonna cut the top off of a piece of garlic, like if you're gonna be roasting it, and then you're gonna add the whole thing into the pot. That is how I was taught, and I'm telling you, for some reason, the flavor is just better. So just make sure you cut the top off and then add that into your broth pot, and then fill the pot with water until the meat is fully covered, and then let that go. So salsa, let's talk salsa. All right, so the salsa is a little bit different than what you would think of a traditional salsa because it doesn't have a tomato. It's not going to be roasted. It's just kind of what's going to give the pozole your color. It's also going to give pozole a little bit of a kick. I start with 3 chiles guajillos. You can get dried chili pods anywhere that there's a Hispanic aisle. I like to get 3. You can use more of them depending on how much meat you have, but I do have a couple more chili pods that I'm adding. So we just cut those, rip those stems off. Seeds are perfectly fine. We're gonna blend it, so everything will be okay. Again, just pull those stems off and then throw that right into a medium-sized pot. I also have 2 chiles anchos. Those are like the curly smoked ones, almost look like chipotle peppers. Oh, the camera's on this side. Almost look like chipotle peppers. You're gonna need 2 of those. That's, again, gonna give it like a nutty flavor, almost raisiny. Cut the stems off and throw those right in the pot as well. Do not skip these. Honestly, the flavor on these are phenomenal. You can add 1 or 2 depending on how much of that flavor you want. I like to use 2. And then this is kind of gonna dictate your spicy level. I have 5 chiles de árbol, or just regular chili pods. They look familiar if you see them. I used 5 of them. I think it gives it a perfect kick. If you're making more broth, add more. Or if you want it to be a little more spicy, then add some more or less depending on what you like. We're also gonna add a whole onion that we're gonna peel and then kind of cut up into quarters and throw that into the pot as well as 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. You can add more or less depending on how garlicky you want your salsa. All right, so let's do that. So I've got my chili pods, my garlic, and my onions in the water. Just kind of fully cover them with water. Make sure they're all, like I said, fully covered. You're going to put that on medium-high heat as well. Bring that to a boil, and then reduce it down to a simmer and let it go until the onions are tender. It's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes, depending. So just going to let that go, and then we will revisit it in just a bit. So once your salsa mix is all boiled down and it's cooled a little bit, you can put it straight into your blender with all the liquid. You want all of your onions, chili pods, and garlic right into the blender. And we're going to blend that until it's nice and pureed. Again, don't worry about the seeds. They're going to be blended in as well. And once you've got a nice puree, you're going to go ahead and add your half a cup of oregano into the sauce and then blend that once again. So when your meat is very nearly done, you're going to go ahead and add whatever kind of bouillon you'd like. I'm using bouillon cubes today. It's going to be the tomato with chicken flavoring. Just go ahead and add those in. They will dissolve in there. You could also use powder if you prefer. And then I'm also going to add about 6 cups of hominy. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that right in and then let those cook with the broth. And then bring that up to a boil once again.